do you want to win? I think one of the reasons I do these meetings is, well, there's two reasons. One of them is to just, for me to give the chance to appreciate you guys, recognize you guys, say thank you to you guys, and that's really important to me. But the second reason I do it is because if I was an agent, and I was in your guys' shoes, these type of things just motivate the fuck out of me. There wouldn't even have to be a meeting. I would just have to be an email with a list of agents, and if I'm not near the top or at the top, then it just does something to me. So it's kind of unexplainable. It's like, that's not okay with me. So I think maybe it's a DNA thing, but I think we could all increase our willing or desire to want to win, even amongst each other. And there's different competition, but we'll talk about, but I just want to be upfront with you that I really want to win. And when I say that, I really want to win. Like, I will do anything except for I might even break the rule, but I won't break the rule, and I won't sacrifice one of my core principles, which is being kind. So if it doesn't require not being kind, then I'll do anything. Okay, as long as I'm kind and I'm winning, and then that's, I think, the balance. Like, I'll do anything, but not like screw somebody over or treat somebody bad or something like that. But besides that, I'll pretty much do anything to win. So that's something I hope some of you guys could relate in some scale. I know some of you guys can. Like, there's something in you that really wants to win. And I think I want to kind of discover that side of you guys a little bit more here today. Because I truly believe I haven't won shit. I consider myself a deadbeat. Like, I just know what my potential is, and I'm just like, man, like, why haven't I done that yet? I just feel that way, but it doesn't mean I'm not happy, because there's so much things to be grateful for, like my family, for you guys, my health. Those are so many things to be grateful for, so I don't want you guys to think that I'm just like an unhappy person, but I do feel like I haven't really done anything. And another thing that makes me really motivated, and I'm not sure if you guys, some of you guys are really feeling me right now, and I know maybe some of you guys aren't, but when someone says, I can't, that just gets me going. That just really gets me going. So I believe that we're going to win, and I believe that we haven't won yet. So how are we going to win? 3 ways to beat the competition. So first of all, let's just kind of define what our competition is, or what your competition is. Other agencies, yep. Okay. Other agencies that are in the same market as us. I would say those are our competition. Okay. The customers have a choice, and business is a war. Okay. So it's not, we're trying to take each other's business. Okay. And even if once they are our clients, then it's a competition to keep them. What other competition do we have? Ourselves. Great one, Lupe. I think that's a great way to look at it. Like, I am highly competitive because I feel like my potential is here. So I just feel like, I'm my own competition. That's why the BME is a big thing. Like, I want you guys to beat your previous month. You are your own competition. I think that could be the biggest competition. What's another one that we may not talk about that much? Each other?
Yourself.
Each other? Okay, I'm going to go there a little bit, okay? Because as much as I want you guys all to win, okay, again, business is a war or a sport, so it's kind of like a sports team. We all want each other to win, but there can only be one first baseman, starting first baseman. There can only be one starting point guard. Okay, so amongst ourselves, there's competition there too. So 3 ways to win, right? We are going to, the competition, what do you guys think? There's 3 of them. So what? Outwork. That's right, Alexis. We're going to outwork our competition. What do you think I mean by that? I'm sorry?
I think more available.
More available, yeah. I do feel, last month was kind of a month where we didn't really see those in the numbers, but I do feel like, in general, we're a hardworking agency. We got agents taking their laptops home, taking late shifts, taking Saturdays. I put the Saturdays, it's like we have more than enough. We're saying people like, sorry, you can't come in on Saturdays because we have more than enough. We have a very hardworking team, and I really want to recognize you guys for that. Okay. And one of the best things I'll tell you guys about outworking the competition is like when you outwork or when you outwork each other, you start feeling like, okay, well, since I'm working so hard, I think I talked about this before, you start thinking like, okay, well, good things are going to happen to me. I deserve it. Like, I believe good things are going to happen to me because I worked so hard. And a lot of times, success just comes from just believing that good things are going to happen. So when you don't outwork others, then you subconsciously think, oh, I don't deserve it, and somebody else does because you haven't put in the work. You know how much work you put in. So even though you get the result from working hard, you actually get the belief that good things will happen to you. So we're just going to continue to work hard. I think this is a very strong suit. Again, it's one of my major core 3 principles too. So we're going to outwork the competition. That's how we're going to win. What's the second one? We're going to outsmart. That's right, generally. Okay, we have to outsmart the competition. Because as much as, we work hard, if we're not working on the right things, then we're not going to win. So with the limited resources that we have, time and money, I consider that kind of like my most important job. And that's why sometimes you guys may see my door closed a little bit more now because I'm really in there trying to focus. Because one of the things I noticed recently is that I started getting into chess because Kyle started getting into chess.com. And we'll play each other. And then I started like, I'll beat him. I don't even play chess, but he's 8 years old, so I could beat him. But then he just was on there all the time, and now he beats me.
Oh, so smart you.
He even begged me to get him the platinum, like the paid version.
You guys are doing too much.
No, but I think that's a good hobby for him. So it's a strategy game, and I love it. And then now that he's beating me, I'm like, fuck, I can't let him beat me. So I'm learning like these gambits and all this like weird stuff, like and as a competitor, I'm like trying to play. And sometimes I'll work hard for 45 minutes. Like, okay, instead of going on social media, let me just play a little chess. Like next weekend when I play him, I could just try to see if I could beat him this time. And then we go back and forth. It doesn't beat me all the time. But I notice when I'm playing chess at work and I get emails and I have someone coming in, or I get chats at me like stupid marketers, and I don't win. Not the computer, but whoever I'm playing all around the world around the same level as me, they beat me. And I get so frustrated, right? And I go home, and the kids, I hang out with them, do their homework and stuff, and then I go to bed. Or they go to bed, and I'm going to bed too. But like, okay, everything's quiet, it's dark outside. Okay, let me play chess. And I do a lot better.
You're focused.
I think that's what it is. So I just want us to be focused because this is the first year out of the 17-year history of our agency that I've been unprofitable. So this is kind of like an important time of our career, of our agency's history. So I say that let's just focus, okay? Well, what is the main objection here? To make more money. Okay, it's not to feed our ego, it's to feed our families. And that is something that we kind of have to get back to, looking at the objective, like what are we literally here to do, and let's really focus in on that, and let's just cut it out with the drama, all the unnecessary stuff and the distractions, because we have very important work to do, and we want to make the management's jobs easier. We have a lot of work to be done, so let's go ahead and that's part of outsmarting the competition, because the competition, I feel in general, okay, I think every year. Derek asked me, like, does this happen often? I was like, every year, like, it happens like twice. Okay, I bet other companies there's just drama all over the place. Okay, so I feel like in general we have a great team. Okay, so but we do have to focus, and managers, we do our job. That is part of our job. So it's not like, okay, oh my God, we don't want to do this. We want to hear people out, get feedback, and that really helps us improve our team. So I'm very optimistic when it comes to outsmarting each other, which also means just being smart. Just being smart with our career, navigating it. There's so many different things. One of it is just staying out of trouble. That's what gets you ahead of the competition. All right, last one. All right, we'll get into this one. What happens in the fourth quarter? Tired, fatigued. This is where the pressure's on. This is where, in sports, it's like, this is where the best players really step up, okay? And the game is really determined. The year is determined in the fourth quarter. So I talked about it in the last meeting, but I want to go over this again. I dig in a little bit deeper. Gino Aranema, he's a UConn head coach. He's been a head coach there for how many years, you guys think?
20.
40.
Oh.
Okay, so talk about someone who knows his profession. He has 11 national championships, Coach of the Year 8 times, and he has the second most wins in college basketball history, and his highest winning percentage at 88% of the games he wins. So he talked about it, but the difference between a really good player and a really good player and a great player. Great players don't get tired. When a great players get tired, then what happens? The great players kick their ass. So we're going to kind of has to do with stamina, endurance, outlast. That's right, Alexis. We're going to outlast the competition. I think some of the competition that we have, they've been around maybe 10 years longer than us. They've been around, some of them have been, the big ones, the really big ones, they've been around for 20 years longer than us. But I'm just letting you guys know I'm not going anywhere. Like, this is a marathon, and I'm going to keep working. And I think what's cool is when you outlast the competition, some of you guys may experience this, is that it's not that hard to outlast the competition because so many people just quit. As soon as things get difficult, they just you've been in this business for a long time, Laura, you and Jeanette, you guys have seen people they just can't, they don't have the endurance or the positive mindset to be like, okay, I just have to put in the years. And what's cool is once you get to a certain level of like being in business for so long is that at the top, there's not that much competition. Like, in fact, when you see your competition at the top, in the bottom, there's so much competition because everybody's just there. And or in the middle too, there's a lot of competition because everybody's there. But once you outlast that level, then you see the other people, you're like, wow, I respect you because I know what you went through to get here. And you actually don't look at each other as competition. At that level, you look at each other with mutual respect and you actually even collaborate and like, hey, let's share some ideas because I know you know a lot and I have something to share to you. The bottom is where it's just a massacre. Now what you guys want to do is just outlast the competition and get to a higher level because I bet you, Christian and Enrique, they don't probably even talk, but they're probably looking at each other like, I see, like, I respect you. And that's in a micro of our agency, but that happens in the industry too. As people see you like, wow, this person doesn't give up. This person, I saw them 5 years ago, I saw them 10 years ago, and this person just does not give up. And that's really how you become a winner in this business. So just want to share with you guys, I talked about this, I'm not tired at all. I'm 44 years old, been in this business for 20 years, and I feel like when I was 20, I was selling sneakers at a sneaker shop, and I was trying to make a little bit extra commission. I was kind of like saying, they wanted a certain size shoe, and I brought out another one that's a little bit higher, just in case you want to try, hey, try this one too. So I would just try to hustle my way to getting a little extra commission. That hunger is like, it's actually even more, to be honest with you. It's a little bit more. But Q4, what happens, guys? Vacations, okay. Vacations are okay. Holidays. Okay. Junk food.
More expensive.
Cold. So do people exercise more or less?
Oh, less.
First thing happens is the Halloween parties, right? Okay. Okay. Like how many do you have to go to? How many of those do you go to? Like you plan out your outfits. Like how many outfits? And then the Halloween, then you start having the candies, right? And then I always notice every single year after Halloween, people start getting sick. People start getting sick. I see it all the time. Okay. Then Thanksgiving comes along. And then what do you start doing?
All the leftovers.
You just started eating like crazy, right? And that your body just can't handle all that digestion that it has to do, so it can't have that ability to put in that much effort at work. And then after Thanksgiving, you're watching a bunch of football and you're spending a lot of hours doing that. And then, Christmas comes and you spend all the money that you don't have and start planning for that one particular day. Okay, I call it it's not a holiday month, it's a holiday, but it's a whole month, okay, of just planning for that one special day, and just people just completely get out of hustle mode. They get into holiday mode. They don't go to the gym, and they just said, okay, well, 2025, January 1st, that's when I step into gear. It's so easy to beat the competition Q4. It's the easiest time. That's why it's my favorite time, because it's like I'm not changing any of my, maybe I'll go, I do take my family at the end of the year somewhere for like 4 or 5 days. And that's good. Everything else stays the same for me. So just want to let you guys know that, I'm not tired. Okay, I fast 16 hours a day. You guys already know, no alcohol, no weed, no fried food, no sugar. Exercise every single day, here at 5:30 a.m., wake up at 4 to be here at 5:30 a.m., and I'm getting deep work done. And I am just like, at this point, I'm just like, I don't need any pleasure. Like, I'm not in it for the pleasure. Like, I need profits for the family and for you guys. Like, I'm not thinking about pleasure, I'm just thinking about profit. For you guys, I will say some of the competition is in this room. For you guys. Okay, so if I were you guys, I would do what Laura did. You just come into work and you just dominate, and you get to a point when Laura had won the Agent of the Month for 73 months, you get to a point when people don't even want to compete with her. It's like, she's gonna win again. And it's like they don't look at her company, it's like a whole nother level. And then you also know, like, okay, well, I've been doing this, if it was 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, it's like such a good feeling. I can't explain it, but it's a feeling where you know and they know that they can't do what you can, because so much work went behind it. It's like a high that I can't explain, but I just want you guys to have that feeling where you're like, we're all here as a team, but no one could beat me, and they just don't see you as competition, and that just takes years and years to get to. But it's just, people just start asking, like, does she or he ever stop? Do they ever stop? Like, do they ever get tired? Would they please stop quoting? And that's the level that you could get to in this business, and it's a really good feeling. So I want you guys to experience that. So yeah, do you have the energy? Are you tired or not? Because sometimes, okay, you've done 10 quotes, you just did a bunch of quotes, and you maybe had a big lunch, or you're just about to get off or something like that. You already maybe sold 2, and you get that call, and you're like, okay, do I have the energy to find out what their problem is and go through the script and maybe be on the hour for a whole hour to close this 2K or 3K policy? Do you have that energy? That's a question you have to ask yourself sometimes. Did I go out the previous day? Am I exercise? Did I eat healthy? Do I have the energy to do this quote here to get another 3K on my stats? That's really what you have to ask yourself, if you're tired or not. So before we end, this is something that Laura shared with me. She was at Green Bay, and she went to the Packers Hall of Fame, right? And Vince Lombardi, he's very famous for quotes, and this is what she shared with me. So quality of a man's life is a measure. What are we measuring here? Commitment. Quality of a man's life is a measure of that man's commitment to excellence and victory, regardless of what field they may be in. And I love that part, okay? Because he's a football coach, but it doesn't matter whatever field you're in. What field are we in? Insurance sales, insurance, okay? It could be a parent, okay? That's your field. Like, your commitment to being the best you can at what you do. And I think that's a measure, and I think that's such a great quote. So, how committed are you to winning? Maybe because of the viewing and maybe the situation that we went into, like, I kind of looked that back at my life, and at the end, I want to think, like, I'd rather say, why did I work so hard? Like, bro, that wasn't necessary. Like, why did I do so much? Like, I'd rather think that way. All that work, it didn't even matter. Like, I'd rather feel that way. The opposite of that is, like, at the end, be like, wow, like, I was so damn lazy.
Did I do enough?
I didn't take my kids anywhere. I didn't set a good example for them. Like, I'm not leaving them with them. Like, I'd rather have that regret of not doing enough and not doing anything for my loved ones. I'd rather have the regret of like, why did I do so much? So I just don't want to look back and be like, I should have done more for you guys and for my kids. And I just don't want to go out like that. I want to have a quality life. So let's find out. Q4, okay, guys? Who's going to outwork, outsmart, and outlast the competition? All right, guys, let's get it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.